Yeah, yeah.
Throw your hands up, everyone. Shake the stress that's killing you. Fancy footwork just like me. Shake it over this dance floor. Throw your hands up, everyone. Shake the stress that's killing you. Fancy footwork just like me. Shake it over this dance floor.
Enjoy your life, be free and light. Enjoy your life, have some fun and enjoy.
Coming up on Mental Health Marty, it's the time of the year, the time of the month. What are we talking about, y'all? Hot topics in the Black community. Stay tuned. What's going on, everyone? It's Martina Sellers, your mental health hygienist, coming to you live and in living color in Southern California. Y'all, I'm struggling tonight. What's going on? It's the first Tuesday. See, I am sorry. Let me start all over. Hey, y'all, it's Martina Sellers, your mental health hygienist, coming to you live and in living color, all the way from Southern California, where the sun is always shining. You know what they say, the second time around is always better, not like the first time. And I am so glad that you're here to join us on this first Tuesday of the month, and that's what we love. What's going on, Miss Jasmine? How are you? Listen, let us know that you're listening and where you're listening from. It is amazing. We are in the first, can you believe it? We are in the last month of the year. It's December. Where has 2022 gone? Where has 2021 gone? Where has 2020 gone? I think since the pandemic, Miss Tanya, things have been just running out of control. Someone tell me where my time has gone. But listen, we are so glad that you are joining us on this evening, and welcome to this amazing show. I look forward to this time. Now, if I was one to gossip, my mother told me that this is her favorite show because she likes everyone on it, and my other shows are just I'm like, wow, Mom, thanks for your honesty. I don't know. Your moms are your best critic or worst critic, or they're just a critic. But let me tell you the purpose of what we do. There she is. What we do with the Mental Health Marty Show. The Mental Health Marty Show is designed to be a psychoeducational show, and it is designed to be an educational tool. It is not a substitute for your medical or psychological needs or emergencies. We want to come in to supplement what you're already going through. We want to supplement your wellness. We want to supplement you being healthy and whole. But if you are experiencing any type of psychiatric emergency or any type of mental health emergency, we want you to do a few little things here. Either go to your nearest urgent care or emergency room, or dial 911. Better yet, the new mental health helpline at 988, and that they can definitely help you out with your mental health journey. Why? Because we don't want you to continue to secretly suffer in silence, in the shadow of shame. Y'all know what I say. We want you to speak up, speak out, and live. Now, how do you engage with us? I'm so glad that you asked that question. And have you seen the comments of other people? Because they are logging on to the Mental Health Marty YouTube channel. That's what we want you to do. That's what we need you to do. And thank you guys for helping to push and drive our numbers up. Please share this YouTube channel with other people. We want to build this platform so that people recognize and are out there to see what we do. And what do we do? We want you to like and hit that thumbs up and subscribe. When you hear that bell, that lets you know you're tuned in properly. And we want to make sure that we see your comments. Yes, yes. Sister Janice, however, yes, your beloved pastor, she is amazing. Hot Topic Tuesday. Yes, that's what it's all about. Thank you, thank you. Greetings and salutations. Brother Jonathan, how are you, my brother? Listen, we got to go hang out and get some Christmas coffee or something. James, what's going on, man? How are you? Good to see you, brother. Listen, I got to get up there to that Bay Area to come and hang out. Listen, it's that time of year. Mom, you talk about this as your favorite show. I'm kind of just hurt a little bit. I thought all of my shows were your favorite one, but since it's not, I'm glad that you are watching this one. And listen, I'm in the office today. Listen, we have been doing some crazy big work and everything, but I'm so glad that my sister from another mister is on here tonight, and we are so glad to always have her on Hot Topic Tuesday, the first Tuesday of every month, and I'm going to be joining her this weekend. So if you just happen to be in the Williamsport, Pennsylvania area, stop by and see us at the Ebenezer Baptist Church at 527 Park Avenue in the great city of Williamsport, none other than the Reverend Dr. Marquita Story herself. Dr. Story, how are you?
I am fabulous, and I always love being with you, Marty. It is always such an absolute delight to be with you and all my brothers. You, Dr. Sean, and
Yes.
Rob. I love
And
Hot
we can't
Topic
forget the Mac in
Tuesdays.
the back.
And baby, we ain't gonna forget the Mac in the back,
We ain't
honey,
gonna
because
forget
you
the
know
Mac in the
he'll
back.
turn your microphone off. He'll turn your microphone off, baby. He ruled the world. He ruled the
Yes, he
world.
does. Yes, he does. Beyonce said
But
girls
it is
rule
an
the world. That's a
absolute.
lie. The Mac in the back rules it.
He rules it.
At
He
least for
rules it with
us.
an iron fist and a
Yes,
button.
yes. Dr. Story, you look amazing as
Yeah.
always. Listen, the hair is flowing. Baby, you're glowing. All that great stuff. Yes. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was fabulous. I was so grateful to spend time with family. I
Hmm.
shared with you that my dad, he is my last parent, and
Yes.
God blessed us one more year to spend this
Yes.
holiday season with him, and it was an absolute delight to be with him. And little Eddie, you know that's the biggest little thing you gonna ever be around. But
We got to have little
I was
Eddie on
with
the
little
show
Eddie.
soon.
Yes. Well, you know, y'all do that therapeutic thing, but you know, he does it
Yes.
from a different end, and so y'all got a jargon that goes
Yes.
along. But how was your Thanksgiving, Marty?
It was wonderful. Listen, let's give a shout out to Miss Diana Sims. We are so glad that you found us as well. Listen, please
Yes.
chime in. You know, Thanksgiving was
Yes.
absolutely amazing. Had a great time with
Awesome.
my family. It was smaller this year, thank God. My mother still had us cook a trough of food for everybody. We could have fed the whole block, but other than that, we're doing well. Listen, she wanted me to make 2 turkeys. I'm like, I'm doing 1 turkey. We doing 1 turkey. One turkey, 1 ham. That's it. You know how
Wonderful.
Shirley Caesar got lambs, hams, potatoes, tomatoes, you name it.
Yeah,
Sometimes
man.
I feel like you
All
name
of
it,
that.
we got it.
Yes.
Yes, well, good to
Same
see.
here.
Let's bring
Yes.
on the bishop himself, all the way from Houston, H-Town himself, none other than Bishop, the Reverend Dr. Bishop Sean Stewart. Bishop, how you
Well,
feeling?
good evening. How is everybody?
Doing well. Greetings and salutations to you, my
Wonderful.
brother.
And salutations, my brother. Greetings and
Salutations.
salutations. There you all are,
Yeah.
where there is no vision. There we go. That's better.
Listen, you're looking good.
Like, when
How you
there's no
feeling,
vision, the
Bishop?
people perish. I'm about to get
Yes.
mine too, honey.
Listen, I'm gonna just tell the truth. I tell my team, if you bring me my Bible and you bring me my journal and don't bring me my glasses, you shouldn't have brought nothing at all. Like I can't do nothing.
Right.
You know,
I got my glasses and I got my pens, so I'm ready.
Wow, listen, won't God do it?
No.
Yes, he will. Won't he do it?
He will
Won't he
do it.
do it?
But now, listen, It is good to be with family. It's good to connect with you all. The last month of the
Yes.
year, the last first Tuesday of the year.
That's
And
right.
the one
That's
thing I
right.
want to push everybody to do, be sure you close the year with your end in mind. Be sure you do that. If you do
Mm,
nothing else, be sure
that's
you know
good.
how you want to end and be clear about your intentions on how you want to start 23.
That's
You should
right.
not start and end 22 the way you're looking at 23. If you are,
That's
you should
right.
call Marty and schedule an appointment for a psychological evaluation. Greetings and salutation. These are your church announcements. Please
Please
govern
govern yourself.
yourself. Now back into
Govern
the
yourselves
hands.
accordingly.
Now back into the hands of our illustrious pastor, the Reverend Dr. Margarita Starr.
No, no.
Listen, we better act right because you know that boy pressing buttons back there ain't got time to go tune him
What you
up. So
talking about, baby?
like
He
I
will
said,
shut you
listen,
off, baby, in the midst of talking.
he
We're
is
I
all
try to not. I
excited.
try to.
Daryl, do
I
you
don't
still
want
accept briberies
I,
and Christmas gifts?
I ain't got no bribery except individual prunes with his name on it. That's the only bribery I got. Individual prunes with his name on it. With his name
Now,
on it.
now,
Individual
Mac in the back, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. I
yeah,
would
I
not
just
do
want
that
you to
to
know.
you.
I just want him to know that the law of
John Mike about
reciprocity
to
is
go
real.
off in a minute.
I expect the mic and the vision.
See, exactly. See,
But
that is
carry on,
funny.
fellas, before to carry on, because he pressed my mic. I'm gonna walk to where he is and tune him up like he's a demon in an apostolic church. You understand? I got him.
That is too much. That's too much. Listen, it's so good, Dr. Stewart. How was your Thanksgiving holiday with
Thanksgiving
friends
was
and family?
good. I'm like Dr. Story. I was with my family. We didn't do traditional Thanksgiving cooking this year.
Okay.
We spent a lot of time connecting with each other, sitting down,
Yes,
laughing,
that's
talking.
good.
I had a chance to take all three of my nephews to dinner individually and just spend a couple of hours with them to hear what's going on in their mind, to hear what's going
That's
on in their
good.
heart, and just to plug into them. I had a chance to spend some time with my princess. I only got one niece, so I had a chance to spend some time with her. And then we had this fantabulous meal for Thanksgiving called the homemade pot of gumbo.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Come
homemade 5-gallon pot of gumbo. We made rice and we sat down
Come
and
on.
we played the game God orchestrated for the church. We played spades, and you know I'm a firm believer. You know,
Not
the
the
game
God,
orchestrated.
God orchestrated spades. Yes, yes.
Tell you why he did
Hallelujah.
it. I'll tell you why he did it, because he put every card I needed in my hand. It's like the scripture. The old folk would say that the Lord will provide. That is not what that scripture says in Genesis. The text says that he will provide himself. And he did in my hand. Yes, he did. The only spade I have was the 2 of spades. That's the only one I didn't have.
See, listen. Yes. Sister Watson says, "Come on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it
Listen,
on."
if you saved and can't play spades, you need to check your salvation, baby. We need a meeting.
I understand. I
But those
understand.
that are going straight to heaven, bid with.
Oh.
Well, no, because Biz Wiz ain't got no skills if you can't play top.
Oh, what
Hey,
y'all?
hey, what are we talking about, Sean? What? When?
Oh.
I'm
I hear
tell
a
you when.
challenge.
I'm gonna tell you when. After they tell me they don't have to de-ice the plane coming from your city back to Houston, I got you. But let me tell you what I don't do.
You might get stuck.
I don't get stuck. You not finna de-ice no plane with me on it. Talking about you finna take off with me. That's not what's finna happen.
Right.
That's not
Right.
Yeah. So it sounds like I'll see you in March, April-ish, possibly. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Unless if I'm going that way. But now if you coming down yonder, I'll see you as soon as your feet strike Zion.
I can't. Let's talk about some
And
topics.
bring the backstage with you, because you're gonna need a partner that's gonna
Not
tell
the
me what's in your
backstage.
hand. I don't need a prophet. I need somebody that's gonna tell me what's in your hand.
I can't. Yeah, we're gonna get to the topics. We're going to. Can we talk? Can we talk? Because Rob is on his way. He got stuck at a basketball game. He's coaching, y'all. He's coaching. We'll have. I want to start a new series called "The Saga of Rob Coaching." The black coach coaching Hispanic children in Anaheim.
That sounds like we need to go down there. We need to do the story live from where he coached it at.
We need to go from live. Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm coming to see that.
Listen,
coming to see that.
As soon as you figure out when you leave, it says text me so I can jump on the same plane. We don't need us all missing that. I need to see it, and we need to come. We need to come with enough cash to get him out of jail because once we tune him up, he ain't gonna be right. So we're gonna have to have
No, and he'll have all the kids standing up there like this.
No, it's not true. That is not true. That is not true. He is gonna have all
They'll
the people
take a knee.
no, they're not even gonna get that far. They're just gonna ask him, Kim Burrell, who?
Don't start that again.
They'll be serious. So can we talk about this as we're moving on? Okay, I'm a little bothered. I'm a little bothered. Can I tell y'all? Well, I'm going to start praying. That's right, Sister Tanya.
Mother, you're gonna be down there a mighty long time.
But I'm bothered. I don't know what to think about this. In San Francisco, they have started what they're calling, we call the police killer robots, because they can send the robots in if they think it's a dangerous situation to bust down doors and to now. Here's what they're saying. We're only going to tase them. They're not giving the robots guns, they're giving them tasers if they feel that the lives are in jeopardy of whether. Now, we know that it's going to go into black and brown communities with that. So now this was the whole Board of Supervisors or the City Council, because this is the city of San Francisco, not the county, but the city has started this. So Dr. Story, talk to us about that. Then Dr. Stewart, we're going to get with your feedback. What's going on? We got, and they're talking about using also robotic dogs to go in there. What next? Robotic buffaloes and rhinoceros and snakes and camels and cows.
Humans.
I don't know. And humans, right.
Well, they're trying to make sure that we don't get on high alert. So they let us know that they're not going to send them in with bullets. Thank God for that. But they will electrocute you if they feel like that's a problem, as if that's a kinder, gentler way of misappropriating force that they may not be able to control. And one of the things they have not been able to do is give us enough quantifiable data and information as to whether or not or what are the percentages of malfunction of all of that, and then how is that what type of real message is that sending to inner city young people and black and brown individuals as to how they believe we deserve to be treated. Because for somebody to say, instead of shooting you, just be easy, all we're going to do is just electrocute you. That's it. And those that have heart issues, diabetes, and all of that could potentially die from those types of things. And so I don't know why that ought to be in the hands of a city council. Without there being quantifiable and qualifying information that has been provided that would encourage, I guess, those of us that are within the black community, because if it goes over there, it's going to go over everywhere. And how we ought to feel safe now.
Because we know that San Francisco is definitely a very liberal city.
Absolutely.
In that regard, so if the city council is passing it there, the very conservative ones will go crazy over it. Dr. Sean, what do you think?
It is just another way to kill a black man or do this in. It's just another way because what they haven't said is what I want to know. What's the electricity charge that you will be issuing when that machine goes
part.
shop? And then who has tested it? If someone dies, who can we legally hold responsible?
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that
Can't hold the robot responsible.
we know the robot will only do what it's programmed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if we know that we can program this thing, then we should be able to get some data on what it did, how often it did it, and then if anyone was hurt. I don't think that this is good. I get why they're doing it. It's almost like they're trying to ensure that no one gets hurt. On the backside, if someone doesn't get hurt but get murdered, what is your recourse?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I want to know, why did they think it was so important to spend the money on research and development, production, and then execution? What was so important that you needed to do that? That is the one question I would love to have answered. Why was this so
I
important?
think it has something to do, Sean, with minimizing the prosecution of Caucasian officers. I believe we need to be thinking sincerely about those officers who are going to jail now because of extreme force and them attempting to ensure that some of their officers are not. That's just a thought to add to it, because I'm telling you, they're not looking at ensuring that they're policing the low crime areas. They're in our areas, and so this is not a Uber Eats robot.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's good.
This is one that is designed to execute deadly force if an individual suggests that it's warranted who is not on the scene. And so that's what makes that very, very dangerous. And it makes us, as an African American brown inner city community, very, very vulnerable, because what I know is what doing air traffic control, what it looks like from the tower and what it looks like from an airplane is two different vantage points. Although the air traffic controller is assisting in the safe landing of that, it takes the eyes and the senses of the individual flying the aircraft in order for them to be able to land safely. And so I think we're in a very, very delicate place. I'm scared of the robot at the doggone grocery store.
Jump on the checkout line, the checkout one.
No, I'm talking about that one that be roaming the doggone aisles, looking at me, trying to figure out if I'm stealing something or something. Like, I don't know what they doing, but I don't like the robot at the grocery store.
I ain't seen that one.
Marty, the next time I'm in the grocery store and that little sucker is turning around in the aisle, I'm gonna take a video of it, because I'm trying to tell you, I can't take it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're
Okay.
scanning. They scan supposedly for stock, and I believe they scanning for stealing, because that thing be looking at me and I'm looking at it, and I don't like it. I feel like it be following me. I feel like it's got an aggressive nature. I don't know if I'm safe around it.
I'm just trying to get a stick of butter, a loaf of bread, and a
Baby, I
container
just
of milk.
walk out of here. I feel like I need to answer some questions to some charges because of that thing looking at me.
Right. Oh, see, Sister Jana says she's seen them at the Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
Well, I can't stop
And they
or shop.
about 5.5,
then.
6 feet tall. They huge.
Oh, wow.
Now
I'm
5'4",
Really?
and I feel like that's an aggressive robot, and I don't appreciate it. I really
Wow.
don't. I feel a bit
No,
nervous about it.
I guess I'm in shock, because I guess here in California I ain't seen it, and then if I do see it, I got to go to a different store, because I'm not gonna be intimidated by a robot that has no money. I'm just not. I'm not gonna be intimidated by a robot.
Baby, that thing,
trying to
I'm
buy
trying to
some
tell
eggs.
you,
No money.
He keep us under surveillance. I'm trying to tell you. I think that thing find out that I just pulled into the parking lot, and it be like Rita outside, and that thing come down looking straight for me. That they said they got him
Wow.
at Kaiser Permanente Hospital in Hollywood. I'm not going to that
Yes.
hospital either.
But look at the
Yeah,
Wow.
bottom.
not going.
Brother
Yeah.
Jonathan,
Oh, take
wow,
it back,
wow.
Derek. Can you
They
take that?
all always in the way. Sister Jen says they're always in the way. Back in the back, can you bring up Brother Davis's comment again that Sean wanted to see? How to talk about how they have it and the Kaiser how
But look at
and
look at the last part of that sentence. That it stops when they locate black and brown people.
wow,
I'm
because that's
telling
a
you.
programming thing. It's
Yes,
programmed.
I'm telling you,
Mhm.
you feel it. I have been in there, and that sucker have slid up to me because it don't make no noise, and it'll slide up to your tail, and I'm like, this thing got me under surveillance. I'd have knocked down all these glass bottles off the shelf. But I mean, because I'm trying to watch my Christian witness, I just go on and finish my shopping. But I don't like it. I really feel uncomfortable. I'm making light of it. But I'm at the grocery store, and it stops. I'm telling you every time, and I feel like we're in a dangerous place if we don't
Yes,
begin to talk about where we find ourselves,
yes.
because the next place I believe they're going to feel free to do it is in our inner city schools. And I'm saying
Mhm.
that,
Well,
Sean, because I
of
really
course.
believe that.
Yes, because then that's the next thing. We already have metal detectors in our schools,
Yeah.
and so the next thing would be robots to to really search our children and to be surveillance, if you will, and so
Hmm.
that is an invasion of privacy that we're talking
But
about.
then
But we're going to get
the way that they get around it is probable cause.
well, we always had probable cause. They had probable cause to pull me over at 3 in the morning because they thought they couldn't read when my
Mhm.
license plate expired. Says, "You're not lying, Pastor." It's really traumatizing. See, that's part to think who's sitting behind the camera assessing the situation. Brother Jonathan, I totally agree with you. It is extremely traumatizing, and I agree. The next step, that's awful. You're absolutely right, Sister Janice. It is awful, and
Mhm.
what's next? And I love what you're saying that the next thing could be in our schools and how it affects our children. Can we talk since we're talking about schools? Can we talk about Sister Story, Dr. Story? We were talking about black teachers, especially male teachers in our school system today. We know that and we have an educator on here that black men are definitely referred to as the 2%ers because they only represent 2% of Dr. Sean, if I'm still saying that correctly, of
That's
the
true.
educators, and that yes,
Mhm.
yes, and the disparity that we have. Dr. Story, you were talking about how there we have to really make a concerted effort in recruiting more black and brown teachers, especially men. That's the same thing in the therapy
Mhm.
field because we only make up 1% of therapists as black men.
Mhm.
Let's revisit that topic that we were talking about prior to the show that you were sharing about black male teachers and teachers as a whole.
Right. There is a strategy that they're bringing about, especially after COVID, of
Hmm.
suggesting that they need to hire additional African American teachers. And there are advocates definitely that are suggesting that individuals who see their own community a part of their matriculation academically find themselves doing better, as well as finding themselves as mentors and teachers. And then there's some individuals on the opposite side suggesting that we're making the suggestion that our children cannot learn unless they're having to be tweaked on their end. And then there was a brief story, Sean, that was there, saying that there was an African American male that had come in to teach some smaller children, and they kept calling him, I'm going to use your last name, Miss Stewart. And they would
Mm.
say, "Hi, Miss Stewart. Hi." And he said, "My name is Mr." And they were like, "Why do you call yourself Mr.?" He said, "Because that's what you call a man." And the kids were not attempting to be sarcastic. They had never had a
Mhm.
man in their teaching environment, and they were saying miss as if that's what you call the title of a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And they just didn't know that there was a difference between male and female, and that was a teaching time for him, but it was also a time of trauma for him because he recognized how few Black men were there. And as I'm speaking, I believe I've shared this before. When I was in school, all of our math, science, and principals and all of that, and administrators, they were men in the schools. And so now to move forward and there to only be 2% Black men that are in teaching, that is so critical. And Sean, before you really get on there, I want you to answer that, but I also want you to as you're framing maybe your response, how is that also feeding into the school to prison populace with our missing males in academia?
Well, oh, me? It's me, right? Okay, so
Yes.
going with thank you. Going with Dr. Story's thinking, not only 2% is high because there is this mass exodus of educators. So I wouldn't even roll with 2% because we never know how we get them. When you start talking about recruitment of a Black man, what they always want to do is give you athletics, PE, and history. So you not only downplayed in one area, you're downplayed in multiple of areas just based off how you look and the color of your skin.
Wow. Did I cut out?
No, there we go.
Okay, if you
If
guys can hear me, can you hear me, Sean? Okay, good.
yes.
I had asked you also an additional question. I don't know if I had cut out earlier, but I was asking, how do you feel like the lack of African American teachers and African American males being in the teaching environment is supporting the school to prison feeding that seems to be
That's
occurring?
good. That's good.
And they build prisons based off of your second grade reading test.
Ooh.
So
Talk
then
to us
they've
about that
already,
because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that.
so when they get 2%, then they're able 2% when they start looking at second grade, not 2%. Second grade start looking at the reading scores. The students who fail less than 50% are always the kids you track to the prison.
Wow.
Because what they build it off of second grade reading scores across the nation. We give a test called MAP, and that test actually gives us a framework into that student's mind, so then we can figure out how to teach the kid. But the problem is that we are always limited, Black men, to the scope of all we're good at is athletics.
Yes. And we have to look at that differently today because it really is a shame because we're not building us to believe that we can do anything else. And we're not even teaching us how to have larger dreams than athletics, and that our world does not revolve around us. We are so much bigger than that. And that's when we have to really starting in the right. Dylan Diaz says starting in second grade. Wow. And that's so shocking. I'm with him. It's very, very shocking. So he says, how do we change that? When does this end? How do we stop that type of measurement? Is there anything we can do about that, Dr. Sean?
I think that we have to offer things that the schools don't have. If we could get more funding for therapists, psychologists to actually be in the building when we're there, that will actually get us halfway there. But we got to have some feet on the ground, and you got to have somebody on the ground that does multiple of things well. That's how we get around it, because it's not going to change unless we, as a community, start applying pressure.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, and community-based programming, I think, definitely is something else that if we can't get in the school day, we still need to get on the school grounds for after
Hmm.
school programming and things like that. Because back in the day, a lot of the public schools were able to have after school programming that was not run by the Department of Ed, but could have been run by other programs that were approved by the Department of Ed in order for them to utilize those programs to increase the outcomes of the young people. But
Mhm.
we've got to start caring again. I believe, and we've got to know we're in a real crisis. And so I'm with Sean. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes. My daughter is texting me. I'm telling her to come on over. Listen, if you're on Facebook, we can't see your comments. Come on over to YouTube. She's texting me, talking about. So she got a picture of Bishop on here, and she says, "Listen, it's hard to convince men who know they are looked upon as breadwinners to choose teaching as a profession. Salary, along with the toxic masculinity, gives it a
Mhm.
bad rap for sure." And
Yeah.
then her second comment was like this: our black boys would benefit greatly from seeing and having more black male teachers. Raven, I have to agree with you. Raven, my daughter, she is also a teacher, and we're so grateful for her. There is this preschool black male teacher. That joker
Mhm.
is so bad. I reached out. I'm going to have him on our show. He does everything. He teaches the kids, and he's such just his engagement that he has with the children is phenomenal.
Mhm.
And I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but we teach differently, and we reach the children differently.
Mhm.
Sean, talk to us
Mhm.
about, and then I'm going to go to the election because it's been Georgia, y'all coming through. Y'all putting my hope back
Yeah,
in Georgia again.
they just called the race for Warnock.
Yes, they just called it for Warnock,
Mm-hmm. One like
and
it
that's
is.
yes. Yes, yes. We gonna go. But what? How do we? And I guess what do you see a difference in our children when they see men who look like them teaching them? How does that impact their psychology and their psyche and even their
Mhm.
self-esteem, Bishop?
I had in my building, I have a gentleman that we hired, African American, and he has the cornrows in his head. I've got about 8 kids who have the same, and they have connected in a way that allows them to deal with each other's issue and then move forward.
Okay,
Did
yeah,
I
we
do
hear
that?
you. No, we hear you.
And, oh, okay, that was all I had on that.
Okay, yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Mac in the back told me his name is Mr. J. So check out Mr. J on Instagram. He is wonderful because the way he engages with the children, and it just makes come on, Georgia on my mind. Come on, Dylan. Yes, we don't Georgia on my mind. So let's talk about Georgia. Georgia, y'all stepped up and stepped out. Thank you for hearing that because we got the right one in. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was going to talk about her. Daryl says y'all welcome. Thank you.
Well,
We got to
thank you.
push y'all to come on out.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
thank you,
Thank
Daryl.
you.
We appreciate y'all
Thank you.
showing up. And really, it was defying what the Republican Party thought that the folks were going to do. Wait a minute, Brother Jonathan and I just returned from South Africa, and I shared with a hotel guest my interest as a black male in higher education. That's right, and in bridging the connection between the HBCUs and the SA colleges. Her response is, "We need you." You're absolutely right, Brother Jonathan.
Yeah,
I got to have you.
beautiful.
I keep saying this, been saying this for a couple of years, but I got to have you on here really soon as another educator here to share in those dynamics. And we do need you with it. But can we just celebrate a little bit about the whole Warnock and everything that is so amazing? We're so glad that Georgia the residents showed up and just talked about and showed them
Mm-hmm.
their choice for that. And it makes a difference. Your vote matters. Your
Yes.
vote matters. It does. And representation, proper representation matters. And we have to realize we can affect the local level, the county level, the state level, and the national level. And so your vote does matter. Too many people paid a heavy price for us to have the right to be able to vote. And I thank you. We all collectively thank you for that. Bishop, are you frozen? We all just having a little struggle in here today, but you're gonna come
Yeah,
right back
and
with
I've
us.
got some bad rain. I've got some bad rain here. So if I'm dealing with some stuff, I'm dealing with it for real. But if I could back up just a little
Go
bit
ahead and back up.
on that, one of the things I think on with this particular win in Georgia, I believe that it reveals that money matters and money is
Yes.
meaningful, but your vote has a whole lot of power because there
Yes,
was a
it does.
whole bunch of money that went out to manipulate the outcome of that particular election. And it showed that money, it might matter. And it might be meaningful, but your vote has some real
Yes,
power
it
to it.
does.
And
Yes, it
it was
does.
shown in this. And I'm so grateful to God that the Republicans were not able to pay for
That's
another
right.
place at the table.
Yes,
And
yes,
that what ended up having to win out was the reason
yes.
people were voting, and they were voting not because it was on a national stage, but they were voting because it meant something to their own community. And so that
Mm-hmm.
that is just a spotlight that I'm so grateful that we were able
Yes,
to see with this
yes.
particular event. And it
I love that
also
too.
gives me hope that we won't have another 4 years of some entanglement with, another Republican person who's already had their opportunity there, because I felt like I'm telling you, and I got a voice. And it's an amendment. It's an amendment that happened that says I got the freedom of speech. It was an amendment that had to happen,
Yes.
and I have the freedom of speech. And so we thank God for the freedom. We
Yes,
got
ma'am.
thank
Yes,
God for the
ma'am.
freedom.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? We got to remind people, and especially our younger generation, and all that. Listen, our voices do matter, and
Hmm.
whether it's a conspiracy, they try to do a conspiracy, but we just keep showing up. And I look at our
Yeah.
forefathers and our fore grandmothers and mothers and all that, who were denied the very common courtesy of being able to vote, and they made it so difficult and made them jump through hoops and those type of things. Yes, yes. Sister Tanya says, vote, vote, and vote. That's right. Keep
Yes.
voting
Right. Right.
because
Right.
our voices matter. And just if we
They
show
do.
up, we can make a huge difference in the way that things are run, and hold people accountable for the
Hmm.
decisions they make. Hold people accountable for not representing us. If we put them in and they don't do what we need them to do, hold them accountable. Show up.
Yeah.
Go knock on their
Yeah.
doors. Write the
That's
letters.
right.
Go ahead,
They work for you. You
Pastor.
paying them. You
That's
paying
right.
them. They
That's
they they
right.
on your payroll. They on
That's
your
right.
payroll. And I show up just like that, just like they work at the house for me.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Y'all work for me. You're taking out some of my good money and using the resources of this nation for you to live. You're gonna
Yes.
serve, and you're gonna serve properly. But we've got to care enough to be involved in the things that are important, and we got to know that the stuff that's not important today will be important tomorrow. And so we've got
That's
to
right.
think past our right now and start doing things that are going to matter for our children and their children as
That's
well.
right.
We've got to start setting precedents in such a way. The way this nation was founded, they were trying to set a precedent where
Mm-hmm.
where they knew that the type of oppression they were under, although they came and created a different type of oppression, they were
Yes.
fighting their
Yes.
own oppression. And they were trying their best to come up with a way of life that would be conducive for
Mm-hmm.
years to come. And we've got to stop settling for the things that will be okay today, and
Yes.
begin to look at critically the impact that our decisions
Mm-hmm.
have long term on the economy, long term on the environment, long term
Yes.
on education, long term in politics. We've got to have a
Yes.
longer term on racism, and
Yes.
our inability to be human, one with the other in this nation, and to deal with the
That's right.
inequities long term that have
Come
been a
on, Dr.
part of
Story.
this nation. I'm sorry, but that kind of stuff, that this was one of those things that reminded me. You pay attention in that civics class if you're a kid,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
remind yourself of that
Yes.
mess that went on in your ninth grade civics class, because we're living it out right now. And people with money will be able to do whatever they want to do to the 80% of us who are blinded by
Mm-hmm.
believing that what we do does not matter. It does.
It
It does.
absolutely does, and that's beautiful. Since we're talking about politics too, can we talk about the newly elected first Black female mayor of the City of Angels, Miss Karen Bass? And
What
we're
you
so
say?
excited about. Yes, yes, Miss Karen Bass. Cousin Naya, how are you? Yes, that's my family. I love all my fam.
Yeah.
And Dylan Diaz, my family. Yes, yes, all of them. The family has joined. Yes, yes. Right there you are about Herschel. All skin folk ain't kin folk. That's right, Raven. That's my daughter. Y'all gotta love her. All skin folk ain't kin folk.
Raven, right about it.
But we're excited about the newly elected mayor, Karen Bass, and
Yeah.
she's going to be.
Yes.
The installation services are going to be done by none other than Vice President Kamala Harris. So she's going to be coming out
Yes.
and installing her as the president. Lord have mercy, as the mayor of Los Angeles,
Yes.
and hopefully we can get all that mess cleaned up from the city council as well, that happened in Los Angeles, because we're under scrutiny right now. We've got to clean up the
As it
city
should be.
and get some things cleaned
Hmm.
up with that as well. So yes, we're excited about her. Now we were talking about earlier
Awesome.
too, y'all. We go about our honorable Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson and what she's doing. Can you please share an update about some of the rulings that she's been writing, her first briefs and that type of thing? Her first what do we call them? I can't yeah, that thing.
Her rulings. Yes,
Yes, her
that
rulings.
she's
Thank you.
they, right. Her ruling. She's citing to be a little
Yes.
liberal, and they are a
Yes.
little concerned because old girl done took somebody off of death row, and she
Yes.
sided with two
Hmm.
two inmates. She sided with two
Yes.
inmates, and
One in
so
Ohio and
they're
one in
calling
Missouri.
one in Ohio,
Yes.
one in Missouri, and what I love about it is she's falling in line with the justice that she did replace, but
Replace.
she
Uh-huh.
also
Uh-huh.
is. Mhm. But she's making her mark as being extremely thorough
Yes.
as far as looking at the litigation of those who have been incarcerated and potentially
Hmm.
wronged during their process. In the one in Ohio, it was
Hmm.
found that the prosecutor withheld evidence, and it was
Yes.
proven by their
Yes.
attorney. And so,
Yes.
like, why you got to go all the way to the Supreme Court if your own
If
attorney was able to be your witness to say that the prosecutor refused to, So anyway, she's standing quite firmly on some strong
yes.
beliefs of justice, and so
Yes.
I wanna keep my eye on Ketanji, but I'm saying thumbs up to Ketanji for making some very hard rulings and
Yes.
being clear on the fact that justice is going to have to be one that is closely scrutinized, and that as a justice, there are times where you have to do those things that may not be as comfortable for some of your political friends, but it's the right thing to do when it impacts individuals' lives. So I'm extremely extremely excited about her leadership
Yes.
and what our land is going to look like with her as a part of this
Yeah,
judicial
and she
body.
replaced Justice Breyer, and really,
Right. That
the
was her
headlines are
justice.
going to be,
Yes, she.
yes, yes, is
Hmm.
she going to be a great opponent of capital punishment, and where does she stand when it comes to? And we know that capital punishments has never been fair. It's always been when we
Yeah.
look at those who are on death row, the percentage of black people and black and brown people that's
Yes.
on death row does not match the number with the
Right.
population that we make up. And so she's going back, and I love that she's bold enough to go back and say,
Hmm.
no, there were errors in the rulings prior
Correct.
to us, and they should have been
Correct.
thrown out back then. But that
Correct.
shows, and we really, as we say in the church house, pray her strength in the Lord in these last and evil
Yes.
COVID and monkeypox and RSV days that's
Baby, and
going
out
on
in these gospel streets, baby, it ain't easy
on
out
these
in these
gospel
gospel
streets. It's not
streets.
easy in these gospel streets. Look, Bishop to text me talking about his computer died. I'm like, well, where's your charger, Bishop? Where's your
Where's your phone? I'm on my
where,
phone. Like, where your
right,
phone
right.
at, Doc? Where
Where
your
your phone?
where your
Your
phone?
cell, your
FOAM.
cellular
Where your
phone.
phone?
Yes, foam. Right.
Yeah,
Listen, just a couple more topics here. You know, my
yeah.
heart breaks because my man is TJ Holmes, and they kind of took him off just temporarily off the Good Morning America show. That's my dude, TJ Holmes, because of
Uh-huh.
although his relationship with Amy is not it doesn't violate anything, but baby, they came out swinging their hands and arms, talking about we in a relationship, and they're like, "Good Morning America" said, "Hold on, we're gonna shut this down." What y'all doing? Time out. Y'all ain't just gonna flaunt all this on the show, and Amy ain't fully out of her marriage, and they ain't even got the divorce papers served, and y'all here.
It's like, girl, do her husband know? Oh, he do
Well,
now.
he do now because we all know what's going on. TJ, come
Baby,
on, brother.
breaking news. Breaking news, baby. Breaking news. Listen, and then TJ to him, he probably don't care because he done been married a couple of times. So for he like, girl, it ain't gonna take long. Listen, I got this dude that can get you divorced like in 15 minutes. Because I think he's been married and divorced at least 2 times. And so ain't nobody, dogging him. Elizabeth Taylor was married like 100. But I'm just
Right.
saying, he was just like, we coming out
She
like
was
this
married.
with our hands up, baby.
Elizabeth Taylor was married when the movie started and divorced by the time they got done shooting the movie. So I guess TJ Holmes was all right. So
Right, man. I'm
But
trying to
TJ's my
say.
dude.
I'm
That's my dude. I love TJ Holmes. Him and Michael Strahan. Come on, the brothers is
yeah.
holding down on the Good Morning America show. I get mad with stuff like it's like, man, why got to be TJ? Why can't it be?
TJ just was feeling himself. TJ was just like, girl, we coming out. This ain't gonna be no secret no more. Come on out here, girl. Sit on my lap while I do this report. Just
And
like
ABC, they
TJ.
say, yeah, she gonna sit on your lap, but both of y'all gonna get sat down. Sit down somewhere. Go to
Right.
your
Y'all need to, and they done probably put them in some kind of private therapy because they like, why don't y'all know nothing about discretion? Good gracious.
I don't know nothing about
They,
that these days.
listen, they ain't even been seen on the street yet. They ain't even been seen out on the street. He showed out at work. Oh, gosh.
You know you can't do all that at work in front of cameras and
No.
everything. Got it all recorded. Listen, take all that to the green
No.
room.
Take it to the green room. I'm trying to see.
Listen,
No, I want him to take a break. He need to. His nerves was bad. I know you don't always know the right thing to do, but we do know coming out on Good Morning America about a relationship with another married person ain't the first choice. So now we know that.
okay, poor choices, poor choices. We gonna pray his strength in the Lord because the COVID done took over.
You right. And baby, it
COVID,
ain't easy in these gospel streets.
It's not easy out here. Listen, doctors, this is way off topic. It is. It's on topic. TJ Holmes is a black anchorman,
He is, and we are
and we're going to
sick.
pray his strength in Christ that he might
We
find
praying
his
for
right.
him. He in the black community. We called
I
on
think this
Jesus.
is off.
What else do we have to do?
Desi is not off topic. Why y'all keep saying it's off topic? We're going to do better next year.
We are not.
Oh, okay. We won't do better. Listen, when our other co-host, one, his whole computer just drops off and dies, and the other one just is a no-show, talking about I'm on my way.
Baby, you
And he
left
don't
with
even
us.
show up.
You left with us.
Yes.
Y'all are left with us. Y'all left with us.
Get on the other two that's supposed to be on the show with us. Don't get on the we
We're doing
Dr.
the best
Story.
we can. We're doing the best we can.
Dr. Story, it has been an absolute joy to be with you this year. This is our last show
Same here.
of the season, and I just love you so much and appreciate you,
I love
your
you too.
heart. And I can't wait to come back in January, as I say, in January, so we can talk about. We're gonna have
Yes.
lots of hot topics, and this topic is hot. Yeah, it is a hot topic. It's a hot mess. That's the problem. Too many people are hot. They need to cool off.
Yes,
But
baby. They put them on a break. Put that on
yes, they
ice.
did. Yes, put it on ice. Jonathan, love you, man. Definitely. Listen, I just want to say thank you to all our listeners and people who follow us, who laugh with us. We in the, we in the back delegation have traded the anchorman to others after this message.
Who said that?
Let's see everybody y'all more closely. No, y'all ain't gonna monitor us. They'll quit posting up their comments. But listen, we want to wish you all a very wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa holiday. I'm covering them all. Did I miss any? Chinese
Baby,
New
it's
Year,
everything.
just
Yeah.
everything. We want you
Marry
to be
everything.
Marry everything. We want you to definitely be safe. Take some time to enjoy loved ones and friends, and that made it a say.
What did you say? This is the glass special.
Listen, we need this laughter. Laughter is good for the soul. Listen, we ain't
Baby,
angry
a
black
side
folk.
chick reveal.
But it's all good. We want to tell y'all, listen, Daryl, I'm about to close out because we just cutting up. Y'all gonna cut us off
Ooh,
anyway.
my head
And
hurt.
we want you to have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, and just take some time to. We talked about, and please check out our show tomorrow on Wellness Wednesday. That we're going to be talking
Yes.
about, and we're talking about the holiday blues. Come on, Mac in the back, throw it up, yes. Wellness Wednesdays, and we're talking about the Holiday Wellness Part 2. That's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time. I got tongue tied. That we want you to go check that out because we have the topic, the talk, and what's the last time?
The
topic,
tips.
the talk,
The
and the
tips.
tips. Yes, on how to get through the holiday season and not suffer in silence with the holiday blues. It has been a joy. We hope that you have enjoyed our time together. The other two just gave us the boot, Dr. Story. Again, if you are in the Williamsport area this coming weekend, we're doing a man's cave. So all the men, come on out. I'm going to be joining you this weekend, Friday and Saturday at the Ebenezer Baptist Church, where the illustrious Reverend Dr. Margarita Story is the chief servant pastor there. And listen, we were there for her installation. We had a time. What they say, what a time, what a time, what a time
Yes,
we
God.
had. And we are so godly proud of you and all your accomplishments. But again, Dr. Story, thank you. Much love. Can't wait to see you in a few days. And all of you have a safe, wonderful holiday, and we will see you at the top of the year for hot topics in the Black community, culture, and Christ. From the Mac in the back as well, we love you. Be safe, and God bless. We will definitely talk to you very, very soon. So, as he's doing the credits and a little talk time before the last thing comes in, yes. And look for our new refreshed look in 2023. Take care and God bless.